Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Betty from Switch and Click, and today we've got another mechanical keyboard review for you guys. In this video, we'll be reviewing the Kinesis Freestyle Pro Ergonomic Split Keyboard. We also have the associated blog post down below, so make sure you check that for a much more in-depth review. This will be a brief once-over of the keyboard and how I feel about it. So I've been typing with the Kinesis Freestyle Pro for about 10 hours, and my first impression so far is that I'm not a fan. So they do have a 60-day guarantee, and unfortunately I will be returning it. I had really high hopes for this keyboard, to be honest. I have really wanted an ergonomic mechanical keyboard ever since I wrote my first article talking about ergonomics and ergonomic mechanical keyboards and learning all the different properties that makes a mechanical keyboard ergonomic, and this keyboard was one on that list that was a pretty high contender that I wanted to try. So I went out and I bought it, and it was really expensive. For the lift kit and the keyboard, it was $219, and it was about $20 shipping as well, so about $240, and they don't pay for your shipping on the way to you or on the way back, so that's like $40 that I'll be losing. But the keyboard itself is so expensive that I think it's just worth returning that anyways if you're not a fan. So I have it right here with me. Let me introduce the parts and then we'll plug it in, and I'll show you guys everything about it and what I think about it. So right out of the box, you get each individual side of the keyboard. There's the right side, there's the left side. And already one thing that I really don't like about it is that look at this, there's just so many wires and none of them are detachable. They're not really adjustable, and it's really annoying and fussy, to be honest. Let's look at on the top of the right side, there's that connection to the USB cable that connects to your computer. It doesn't come off. It's pretty long. It's about 6 feet long. And then there's also the wire in between the left and right side. Now this you can customize a little bit, but this is the shortest that it ever will be, which is about 12 inches. It can extend to up to 20 inches. If you take this left side and you pull this up right there, we see that there's much more wiring in here, and if we just lift it out like so, we can pull and make it much farther. So now we can separate our keyboard by, I don't know, about 2 feet, a little bit less than 2 feet. It's 20 inches officially, but I don't know why you would ever need to separate your hands by 20 inches. Maybe if you have really wide shoulders, or you have a shoulder injury of some sort where you just can't bring your arms together. It's just so crazy that even if you had wide shoulders, like, you wouldn't have a desk that would be that big. So it's super easy to put back in, except I lost the lid, so that's a problem. Okay, here we go. Found the lid, and we're back to normal. So another downside already to this keyboard for this price, for this alone was $179. And then we have the VIP, the Pro kit, that lets you lift up the keyboard and give it that tenting feature. That's an additional $40, and that comes with the 2 palm rests, the 2 lift kits, and that comes in a package. So for the price, it's just not a high quality feel. It doesn't feel super sturdy. Like, if you look at the drop, it's a fully aluminum case with PBT keycaps, and the quality just feels so much higher. This is made entirely out of ABS plastic, and if you look at where we pulled out the wire, it's basically like a remote control where you pull out the battery. It's not durable, and because mechanical switches are durable, you would want your keyboard to be the same. especially if it's something of this price. Alright, so I plugged it in. Another complaint I have is that the cord is only on the right side, so I have to loop it around to plug it to my computer. But let's get to installing the palm rest and the lift kits. Alright, we'll start with the right side. They are labeled. This one says right. You take the snaps and push it in. There we go. So already it's a little flimsy. Now the other side. Okay, it's enormous. Fits about 4 of my hand on it. And now let's do the lift kits. To install, insert end tabs into keyboard square hole, snap squeeze tabs into palm support. So we take that, push it in, and snap. Alright, so that was a pretty quick installation. They have different angle setups that you can use. You can use the highest angle or the lower, shorter angle. So this one is 15 degrees and this is 10 degrees, and those are our only 2 options. Okay, so what do I think of the keyboard after typing on it for about 10 hours? My personal experience is that due to my small hands and the way that I type, the fact that I don't type on the home row keys despite being able to type without looking at the keyboard, it gave me a lot of trouble the first 3 to 4 hours. I was typing at about 15 words per minute to 20 words per minute, depending on what I was typing, if there were apostrophes, periods, capital letters, things like that. This keyboard comes with Cherry MX Browns. They also have a silent version or quiet version with Cherry MX Reds. But back to the keyboard. It's really big, as you can see. Due to the split characteristics, you have to be able to separate your hands on certain sides of the keyboard. So I find myself trying to feel for the F and J often and thinking, okay, where is the I and the U and the M? And then I'll move one finger at a time. So it was really slow. The fastest speed that I got up to was about 40 words per minute, and that was very close to the end of my typing experience. Another problem that I faced was that it forced me to use my ring and pinky finger much more often because I couldn't jump around focusing on using my stronger fingers, and that caused fatigue within the pinky side of my hands, and it just wasn't comfortable. Whenever I finished typing for that day, I just felt like I needed to massage my hand and I felt some kind of strain. So I would say that is the #1 problem for me. I know that the keyboard itself is supposed to be ergonomic, but I really think that it is causing me more harm than it is good, and that's really unfortunate because I really believed that it would help my body since we do so much typing. Another problem I found with it is that it's just too big. There's so many extra keys. If we look at the keyboard itself, the entire left side has a ginormous escape key that who even presses the escape key, to be honest. And then underneath are 8 macro keys, and at first I thought this was really cool, like, oh, this would be super convenient. But even though I was editing videos, typing blog posts, I never found myself using those buttons. I had to go out of my way and say, oh, this would be a good moment to use select all or cut or copy or whatever. But I just do Control A or Control C or Control P, and those are just so much more automatic. Now with this keyboard, it is fully programmable using the Smart Set program with its onboard memory, but I couldn't get it to work. Other problems that I had were the rattling stabilizers. Because I had to reach so far to use the right and left shift keys, I could only reach the far left side. And sometimes it wouldn't register because I wasn't applying force close enough to the switch itself. So that got really annoying really fast. I also found myself having to tilt my hand to reach P and enter. It just doesn't make a lot of sense from a body mechanic standpoint. Like, that's such a unusual way to put your hands in. Disclaimer, this might just be a personal problem, and it might just be the way I type and the way my hands are shaped, or the length of my hands. Your experience might be so much better. A lot of people right now are recommending the Freestyle Edge, which is the RGB gaming version of this exact keyboard, where the left side is just blank macro keys rather than already programmed in macro keys. I mean, they're adjustable, but the gaming version is the exact same as this. So if you're thinking of buying either one, they do have that guarantee. So go out there and try it and see if it helps you. I'm just telling you guys all the pain and the discomfort that I went through. My husband tried it for about an hour and he had almost no complaints with it, except for the fact that it was split, and that took a while for him to get used to. Now he does touch type. And by the way, if you like this video so far, please press that like button. We really appreciate it. And we also really appreciate you for being here. If you want more videos like this, such as keyboard reviews, how-to videos, or just compilations of information that we've been doing research on, please press that subscribe button because we're going to make more. Also, if you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments down below. We would love some advice on how to improve our videos. Anyways, back to the keyboard itself. Let's do a quick typing test so you know how it sounds.